Welcome to Behind the Song with One Life, our new series where we talk about the song that we just wrote on camera and we talk about the meaning. So here it is. Thank you. Because we're trying to write more original music. So here's the deal. This Breonna Taylor song is basically about how you have this Black Lives Matter movement. And they're saying there's a problem, for sure. And it's not like 5 people. This follows my rule of life here. It's not like 5 people. It's like probably the majority of the African American community. That's like, there is a serious problem going on in the country, and we feel afraid by the police. We feel like there's a level of things that are happening to us that are not happening to other races. So you have the Black Lives Matter movement saying that. And then you have whatever the All Lives Matter thing is. And they're saying, no. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. It's not a thing. It doesn't exist. You're just screaming and whining. And my thing is, what this song is about, is if you had 5 or 10 people and the majority of the African American community was like, you know what? Those people are idiots. There's nothing wrong. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. If that was the case, and it was this super, super small, not even minority, like a few people, then like, okay. But you have like this a decision reached with Breonna Taylor, and there are so many people that are upset by it. I think there's a problem, and that's all this song is trying to say to maybe someone in the All Lives Matter movement, which is there might be a problem. So maybe rather than screaming All Lives Matter, we can, while this side is screaming Black Lives Matter, and maybe that's antagonizing us, we can say, okay, sure, yes, I agree. Let's figure something out rather than Black Lives Matter, All Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, All Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter basically means, hey, there is a problem. That phrase means there's a problem. It does not mean only Black Lives Matter. The phrase All Lives Matter in this context basically means, no, like, you have it just as hard as white people. Some people believe that. I guess a good amount of people believe that. A good amount of people believe that Black Lives Matter. It's not 10 people on this side and 10 people on this side. So that's what that whole song is about. Everybody's saying this. Everybody's saying that. But regardless, they're in the streets and they're screaming no justice, no peace over and over and over again. And that's what I heard when I went down. I think it was in the riots, probably whenever they first started. It was months ago. And I went down on a Friday night, and they were just screaming it over and over again. Say her name, Breonna Taylor, no justice, no peace. That whole chorus basically is what I heard in the streets. And my thing is, a line where it says Breonna Taylor 100 years later is say her name till you know that you can thank her. It's like, okay, well, let's maybe find a way to make this terrible situation in 100 years stand for something to stop all the craziness. So without me, One Life, I'm not trying to get political. Dude, I just like being a suicide survivor, being someone that got it so wrong. I'm not allowed to be arrogant anymore, okay? And that's really what it is with me with the suicide stuff, is I went down a path continually, and it wasn't the worst path in the world, but it was a path. It was the wrong thing. So I can't be arrogant and say I know everything anymore. And that's why I feel like I can stand in this place and be like, you know what? For sure, there is definitely an issue going on. And maybe it's not as intense and crazy as one side is saying, but for sure, one side is not completely wrong. Except maybe the people that are screaming the all lives matter thing, because all that's really saying is that, you know, everybody's got it equal, and clearly there's evidence against that. But I think what the all lives matter people are really trying to say is, like, maybe we don't have to burn down buildings and stuff. I think that's really what they're trying to get at. But then you have, like, the American Revolution, and that was basically a giant, you know, it's like a giant riot. But I'm not saying you should burn down buildings. I wouldn't want my building burned down, so that would be terrible. That would suck. What's behind the song? Everybody should listen to everybody, because everybody's saying something, and we should be like, huh, that's an interesting point. Let me think on that. Who just Snapchatted me? Oh, hi. Subscribe to the channel. Goodbye.